Hey, I am like 10 years older than I am the last time I made, no, at least. I might be 15 years older than I was the last time I made a video like this. Here's what we're doing today. Hang on. This right here is my old fish tank light. It's a Finex 24/7 it's the Finex 24/7 Planted Plus. They pick a hell of a name over at Finex. I was pretty stupid. I've got my tank over here on a rack and overflowed onto this. So every day for the last many days, every time the timer on this light turns on, it goes with a red light. And it only just dawned on me that that's probably programmed to tell me it's broken. I went to MC Aquatics here in Centennial, Colorado today and picked up this Fluval Plant light. I've heard some good things about these, but I've also heard bad things about these. Namely, the bad thing that I have heard with this light is that it is, like sometimes the fish can look kind of washed out with it. So, we'll have to see about that. We'll see what we think. I have not done an unboxing video in quite some time. I like to be nice to the boxes, but people don't let you anymore. So I guess I gotta be a box aggressor. Here, we're gonna open it. Here's our first look inside the box. We've got an owner's manual that I'm gonna keep right there. We've got presumably AC power in this, and then here, the light. Alright, so in this box over here, we have got short AC power supply. I hate, like, you know when you get an electric toothbrush and the cord for the electric toothbrush is not, like, you need a box for it? That should be illegal. Thank you for not breaking hypothetical laws. I like to have something to plug into the wall and not into a box. All right, here's the dandy boy itself. That's actually a cool looking light. One thing I do think, I got the 18 to 24 inch one, but it kind of, I don't know, this thing is a little small. It's for the right size of my tank. 15 to 24 inches, so this is 15 inches. Did I get the wrong one? Let's figure it out. Also, where are the legs? I have a paraplegic light. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to go back to the fish store. It's too dark in there. Oh, they don't come off. That's cool. All right, so I've got it plugged in on my power strip back there. Let's hit the on button. That is a pretty nice light, I will say. It's not as wide-ranging as the old one, but I do like it. I've been sitting here watching this tank, just kind of thinking about the light and how I feel about the way the tank looks right now for about 30 minutes. And I'm happy with it. I think this light is going to be an upgrade over that Finex light. While that Finex light is a great light, and that is no disrespect to their brand and what their lights do, because they really do a great job. I think this light is going to be really great. I'm excited to experiment with the blues and the reds in the wavelength spectrum on their app. I'm going to go in depth on like the theory behind the way that I set all of the parameters and where I got that from and my ideologies behind that in just a second. But in terms of how it looks good. As you can see, especially if you look in the back of the tank, the light certainly doesn't hit every part of the tank. I have two ideas of how that'll work. Either one, it's going to be not as good a light because there's not as much light coming out, or and this is kind of what I anticipate, because when I had that bigger light, it went all the way over to here. This is the loop that it hung on one side, and that's the loop on the other. And so a lot of this light would come in through the side of the tank, and you can see, especially with this Bacopa, a lot of the plants grew forward into the side. And so I'm kind of anticipating that with a more direct light source, a lot of these plants will begin to grow towards the middle of the tank, especially like these Bacopas and all the plants I have on the margins. One thing I am seeing that is going to be a problem is this frog bit. I'm going to have to figure out somewhere to grow frog bit, or I'm just going to have to constantly move that stuff around because I don't want it to take too much of the light. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I think definitely the quality of light that comes out is better. It was such that I could not see the bottom of my tank in a lot of places, like especially in this mulm layer and stuff. It was like there was not a lot of clarity in there with the old light, but with this new light, it's certainly looking great. This is a 15-gallon Fluval spec tank. For plants, I've got Bacopa caroliniana. That's all these guys, these viney guys. I believe this is Italian Val or Jungle Val. I can't remember which one I got, and I'm not that Vallisnera familiar. I've got some of these, and then also one in the back. Some dwarf sag just down in the corner there that you can't see. Some kind of Anubias I got last week from my work at PetSmart. Doing pretty well. I don't have that on anything. It just kind of sits in a nook, and I'm gonna see what it does. Got a big Amazon sword, and then over on the side here, plenty of water wisteria. That stuff got ripped up yesterday, so we'll see how that grows in. And then in terms of stock, 6 cardinal tetras that I would love to be 8 cardinal tetras. Got a female beta that's been floating around in front of the camera but is now hiding. And then we've got 2 otocinclus and a ton of neocardina shrimp and some amanos as well. And then just a few snails and tons of pest snails that are not a pest because I like them. They help me keep my tank clean, and there's not a lot of algae in here, some extra biomass, but it would go one way or the other. So with the setup that I have, I'm appreciative for those guys. All right, so now we're at the last part of the video where I'm going to spend some time talking about the different wavelengths of light and how I have chosen to set them. Up here, we've got our 5 different controllable wavelengths. Really, for me, the 2 big ones that I'm going to experiment with are going to be these reds and these blues. For the cold white, pure white, and warm white, this curve here was taken right from a video from Bentley Pasco, which I will link below. He's done a lot of great work with his fish tanks, and I didn't really listen to much, or I don't know, maybe this is the same thing he's doing. I didn't look at what he's doing in terms of the blues and the reds, because I am going to play with these based off of what I know about nature and about the way that blue and red wavelengths of light exist in nature early and late in the day. And here you can see that on the graph. Our first big pulse of blue light happens between 7 and 8 o'clock. That's going to mimic the natural blue wavelengths that are in the sky right as the sun rises. And then these diminish being at 0 right about 2 o'clock and really being low matched with those red ones at noon. That's going to simulate a high light environment that you get when the sun is right above a fish tank. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Definitely have a little bit of a risk with algae, but there's plenty of shrimp in this tank, so I'm not really worried about a little excess algae. And then I also have a little pulse just late in the day that kind of trying to simulate the sunset hour. I might even push that back to about 8 o'clock because I'm not really sure I want it there, but we'll see how it does. And then for these red lights, this is just kind of simulating the natural change from blue lights in the morning to red lights in the afternoon. This has been shown for people and mammals to do a lot to simulate or to set the circadian rhythm. And with a room full of animals of all kinds, having a natural rise and fall of the lights is never a bad thing for anybody. Right around noon, we're right about, I believe this is 5 or 10%. Jumping up to 50% late in the afternoon and then falling off as the sun would set. Like I said, this is going to require troubleshooting. I'm sure I'm going to have some headaches because of some mistakes that I've made in here, but we will make videos about that and talk about the logic that goes into fixing that as they arise. This is just kind of how I'm starting. Like I said, these parameters, go check out Bentley's video. He's got like a 15-minute video all about this. I literally lifted this right from there. Here's one look at the tank just before we wrap up. I think this is a really cool light. I've spent years at work. I work at PetSmart, for those who don't know, and for those who want to riot to my house with pitchforks and flames to punish me for that. I've spent 6 years looking at this light and talking to people that have had it, and so now I'm really excited to get to try it out as a product that I use at home and talk to you guys about it, and the pluses, the negatives, and what we can do to balance between them. I'll see you guys in the next video, unless you guys are cool and don't want to subscribe, because plowing for subscribers is stupid. Pet Facts out!